Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Turn this music down a little bit, I think. Every time I do this, I have to get used to everything all over again because I go months between sprinting. See, there are 5 people here. Let me know if there's any sound issues, video issues. Hey, Daniel, it's great to see you. I know that we had really pixely video at one point. That was last time, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but apologies if that is the case. Hello, Sam. Having a good one so far. My mom made a sort of experimental vegan cheese and a pizza, and the pizza was very great. The cheese was not ideal, so we added some Dea and stuff to it, but getting off to a good start. I have my energy drink. It's white gummy bear flavor, which is amazing. And my glasses will not become clean. But yeah, let me know. I'm guessing there aren't any issues. No one's saying anything. So if we are finished with the land of pixely video, I'm very happy. I'm not wearing my cat ears today because, speaking of cat, one just sneezed over there. I'm not wearing my cat ears today because last time I wore them, they were cutting out, and it's happened at a few meetings too at work, which really, really sucks. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something wrong with them or if it's the adapter that I have to plug them into. So when I can start doing these lives at a desktop computer again, which I'm hoping to be able to do, I just have to get a new webcam. When I do that, we'll see if a direct plug into the tower works or not. So they've been good for headphones, but it's just when I speak, sometimes it cuts in and out, and we don't want that. We're trying to have as few issues as possible. Yeah, it is difficult with the cheese. As a cheese lover, that is my biggest problem with being vegan. I miss that real cheese. But I find that the soft cheeses are really great. Like that, I don't have a problem with. It's the proper melty mozzarella. So when you make a pizza, it's really hit or miss. But I mean, I've found some good store-bought ones that are enough, but it's still not that classic, 90s pizza, that image everyone has of it. I'll be complaining about that forever. All right. My plan was to talk for like 5 minutes, so we've got about 1 minute to go, but I want to make sure we can get in the most sprinting sessions possible. And as always, we are going to do 15-minute sprints and then wind up with a half hour. For me today, I am doing a couple things. I'm going to start off by updating my little 1 line a day journal. I am a terrible journaler, but this kind I seem to be able to do. It's really cool. You get a list and it's 5 years, and you just put like a couple little lines for each day, and then you can look back at what was happening on that day for 5 years. I like it a lot. I had one that I was 4.5 years through, but then I had kind of a hectic year and completely dropped it. So I'm starting a whole new one and hoping to stick with that one for the next 5 years. I chose to do that this year because I think it's going to be a really pivotal year for all of the projects that I'm working on and stuff like that. I think there are going to be some big changes, upheavals, lots of events, and I want to track it because I feel like this is kind of a year that's like the beginning of something. I just feel that. So I'm going to be updating that. Then I'm going to be working on Centera. Yeah, it's a really cool concept. I love it. And there are a bunch of different ones. So if anyone's looking for a minimal way to journal, 1 line a day, just look it up on Amazon and they have a whole bunch of them. Yeah, so after that, I'm going to work on depends how I'm feeling. I might do a bit of both. I have to do a bit of blogging because I'm trying to get the blog going on the Stygian site, but I did put one out yesterday, so I can chill a little bit till next week. But I really do need to work on Centera. So I'm working on the Hidden Kingdom. It's been coming out on Ream. There are 3 chapters, I think, out there so far. And now I have to update a bunch of others so I can keep putting them out every couple weeks. Thank you, Sam. Sam is always such a support. It's always appreciated. So I have to like, I'll get into this in the next one because we're at 6 after. We're at 6 after, so I want to start. But yeah, in the next one, I'll tell you sort of where I'm at and where I got stuck with this book, even though it is a finished draft. Okay, so we have a little winter themed timer here. I've been using the fall one for a really long time, and I figured that it was time to switch it up a little bit. It may not be snowy everywhere, but it is snowy here in Montreal. So this is what we are looking at here. And I figured it would be fitting to have that for our timers, and also the little intro. If you saw it at the beginning, I wintered that up too. I've been going for kind of more like edgy thumbnail vibe, and I was going to match that, but I like the seasonal thing for sprints. So that's what I'm doing so far. Alrighty, so I'm going to update my little journal and probably figure out some other stuff, and turn off Discord because that just made a noise. And hello to anyone who is here from Discord, by the way. I've been alternating sprints with the Discord server and YouTube. But with that, let's get into our first sprint of the day, see how much we can do in the next 15 minutes, and I will talk to you then. Oh, I like that one. I like that. We didn't have a little like last couple seconds ding on the other one I was using. So we're back. We're back as always. That first one goes pretty quickly, I find. How did everyone do? Also, let me know what you're working on today. I finished my one-line update, which was no feat to brag about, but I did do that. And I started getting into the confusingness that is my draft at the moment. If anyone saw me on my little camera there, I had to run off and get this. This is whenever I do my second edit. Yeah, I'll do my first one and just I sound uncertain because it's been a while since I've been actively doing this this routine. But when I do my second edit, I'll just go through it like grammatically on the computer, and then for the third one, I print everything out and go through it with a pencil. And yeah. Hello, Terry. Nice to see you. You're not that late. Happy Saturday. We've only done our first one. As always, I'm going to aim not to talk too much in between so that we can get a few good sprints in. Continuing from what I was saying at the beginning, that I stopped myself so that we could write. The problem with Synterra right now, this has been a work in progress since I was 13 years old. So obviously it's been through a lot of iterations. It's not like the same thing that I'm working on. I started this whole journey when I was in like, it's how many decades? Like over 2 decades ago now. So it's been through a lot of iterations. And the problem with how I started this in this new year was that I had in my head that I had this complete draft, because I did. I had this. But what I forgot was not only when I was traveling did I go through this and mark it up. I thought, okay, I marked it up, I fixed it, and I went through and then I like made all those edits on the digital version. Yes, I did do that. But the thing is, I also came up with a lot of much bigger changes that needed to happen. And I hadn't actually implemented those yet. And I've just been so like crazy busy with everything. I totally forgot about that. And I thought I just had like individual chapter work to do, which I could do along with beta readers in the beta phase, which I'm technically in right now. But not quite, because I have 3 chapters that are ready to go, and those are online now. You can read them if you follow my ream, and you can give feedback on them. But after that point, I actually have to move a lot of things around, add new chapters, mishmash a bunch of stuff together. And now I'm kind of rushing to do that, because not only do I want to keep beta reading this actively, but I'm also in tandem crowdfunding for this to come out. And my goal was to have this out by August. So we'll see how that goes. I think I might like need to take a day off work sometime soon and print everything out and just move stuff all around and be like a crazy person on the dining room floor or something like that, and just get it all together, because yeah, that's why I was uncertain about what I would be writing today, because of all of that. But yeah, everyone let me know what you are writing, how you did in that first sprint. I'm always curious to see. I hope that it was a good start. So we're going to get into this next one right away, but always, always feel free um, to answer my questions and stuff in the chat while we are sprinting. If you want, like, you're welcome to do that. If I look up, I'll respond in the chat. So it doesn't always have to be in these minutes that I am on screen. So what am I going to be working on now that I don't know what I'm doing? I might try to comb through a bit of this, but I might just try to power through some blogs because I really need to get that done, and I need to do some planning. I also need to do some planning for the upcoming conclave, which is going to be our March writing event for the Order of the Written Word, which I've got my Order of the Written Word shirt. Okay, so we'll see. I'll let you know at the break. We are going to go into another 15-minute sprint now, as you can see up on our lovely screen here with our little winter theme. So if you're just joining, we're going to be writing for 15 minutes or working, whatever you're working on. It is a time for you to work and get stuff done. So we're going to do that. Again, let me know in the comments where you're at, how this is going for you, what you're working on today, and I will check back in with you in 15 minutes. Okay, it's another one down. Move our banner here. Welcome, Dharma. I mentioned in the comments, but just a hello here as well. I'm glad that you were able to make it, considering the week that you've been having. I'm just getting to writing now too, so it's been a tough one. So I am working on blogs. That's what I decided to do, rather than untangle the mess that is my novel at the moment, just because when it's something really complicated like that, I don't want to also be aware of managing sprints and stuff, because I need to just, zone in and dive right into it and just really get myself back to where I was. So I find that sprints are best for me when I'm moving along smoothly as planned. So when I can do this with a novel that needs a lot of thinking, right? But it has to be, okay, yeah, I know the chapter that I'm writing today. It's all sorted out. I'm just going to sit here and get those words in. So that is blogs for me today. So I'm working on blogs. I got 146 words done in that last session. I am working on a blog about the appeal of dystopian fiction, and that's for the Stygian Society blog. The one that we put out yesterday, if anyone is curious, is about short short horror stories. I'll just link that actually. Just link our blog. So if anyone wants to check out the blog, there's book announcements there, and there's that one about the short horror stories, but I'm going to be putting blogs out once or twice a week moving forward that are going to be about publishing, about different kinds of fiction, mostly stuff that, like, genres that we publish. So that's why I'm starting off with horror and dystopian, because that is what we have a fair amount of right now. We also do traditional stuff too, that's like fantasy and sort of classics, new classics, I would call them. Like our Christmas book was like an age 8 and up. So I'm just going to be focusing on all the things that sort of are involved with Stygian that make sense to have on that blog. And I'm excited to be doing that because we didn't have a blog before. And this new website just lends itself to it a lot more. And I am a mad blogger. For my day job, I do a lot of blogs, and I can hammer out like 10 blogs in a day. So I'm like, why am I not doing this for my own website? It makes no sense. This dystopian one I'll probably put up Monday. I think I might do a release Monday and Friday. So if you want to read that, what I'm doing right now is doing some research into the history of the dystopian post-apocalyptic literary genre. It's not going to be like a novel blog, but I'm going to try to touch on some things like that, and hopefully it's interesting. So how did all of you do? Did you get a word count? How was this one? Are you starting to get a bit more in the zone now? I find that the first 15 minutes always just flies by, and you feel like, I didn't do anything. I did like 2 words, or I sat there thinking, or got distracted, and then it takes till the second or third one to really feel like you're doing stuff. I got lucky with the second one. I think I'm good now that I've decided what I'm doing, because I was pretty panicked in the first one when I hauled this out and was like, oh God, I don't know where the book is going. I don't know where it's going. I am definitely going to print out a whole bunch of stuff about that though, and lay it out on the floor and organize it soon. But yeah, I hope that everyone else got some good words in. We're going to go into another one pretty soon. For anyone who's just joining, welcome. We're doing 15-minute sprints, and then we're going to wrap up the session with a half hour, which is what I tend to do. So the half hour one will come at 2:30 Eastern, and until then, I'm going to try to get in 3 more 15 minutes. Should be ideal. I don't have anything I have to rush off to today, so if we go over a little bit, it'll be okay, and I doubt anyone is going to complain. I'm going to get our timer set up here. A rule of thumb for chapter sizes. I don't think so, honestly. You could sort of look per genre. I find that fantasy novels, which is where I'm at the moment, tend to have longer chapters, whereas something like let's see, like suspense, crime, that kind of stuff, the chapters are a little bit shorter and more intense, because that's just the flow. So if you're reading a lengthy fantasy novel, you're sort of pulled into it. There's a lot of world building, a lot of, look at the beautiful scenario, like surroundings, and all the depth of the people, and showing you like the different creatures if there are fantasy creatures. Whereas crime, mystery, suspense, it's kind of like, this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and you could have a slower build and then have it go kind of choppy to the end. I would say, rather than a specific rule of thumb that goes across genres, think of the mood and the flow and the pace of your book. But yeah, like things will get chopped in editing for sure. And I think that, yeah, like 4 scenes sounds good. What you're working with sounds good to me. Hang on, my ring light is going off here. I thought I had it plugged in, but I didn't. What you have set up sounds really good to me. And yeah, like pacing is the ideal, because I've read books before that have had like 2-page chapters, and then ones that are like 13 pages. So it can be all over the place. I wouldn't worry about the length too much. Just when you feel that it's the end of the chapter, cut it off there, and you're probably doing the right thing. Okay, if everyone is ready, I'm going to get into our next 15 minutes. I'm going to try to finish this blog, or at least get halfway through. You are most welcome. And yeah, if anyone else has questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to tell me about your projects. I always like to hear what other people are working on. And if you're just joining, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here, and let's get some writing done. We're going to go for another 15 minutes now, and I will check back in after. Dang it. I was right into some research. I almost finished the blog though. I'm gonna check in on my word count here. Just to see. Yeah, like 250. Looking at the paragraphs. So I'm about 300 words in now. Hello. Thank you for dropping by. How'd everyone else do on this one? See, we've got a couple more people joining. Welcome, welcome. We are sprinting. We've got 2 more 15-minute sprints to do, and then we're going to wrap up with a half hour. I was supposed to be working on my novel, but it's proving too much for today. So I am working on blogs instead for the Fijian Society. And for anyone who has not yet checked out our blog, it's just fijiansociety.com/blog. Done one about horror stories, and the one I'm working on now is about dystopian literature. And I'm going back into some of our books we've published to pull out dystopian stuff to sort of do a little call out to those within the blog. So that's what I was doing when the timer went off. 200, nice. And a couple paragraphs, also excellent. I'm glad we're getting some stuff done. What genres is everyone working in? I'm curious to hear. As you can hear by my Celtic background music, that's generally what I like to listen to while writing. It seems to fit in with my genre, and I'm in fantasy at the moment when I'm not writing blogs. But I also do horror, mystery, murder mystery stuff. That's honestly what I'm more drawn to these days, I think. But fantasy was my first thing, and I've been working on it for ages and ages and ages. Nice. Why sci-fi fantasy? So we're all in a similar little group here. Sci-fi is something I never really explored that much, but I love reading and watching sci-fi. So I don't know. I just haven't had the right idea for it, but maybe someday. I've got to finish this fantasy novel first. It's turning into a curse or something. It's taking way too long. Yes, nerd power. Ooh, yes, paranormal thriller. My first book was, which I just so happened to have here. I'm always, whenever I'm talking about my books, I'm looking off to the side being like, oh, I should grab this, and I don't have it, but I actually do happen to have my my first full publication here. I also publish shorter stuff, poetry and things. But this was my first like full novel that I got out into the world. I have to reformat the entire thing at some point, but yeah, this was a witchy murder mystery. So I love that kind of stuff for sure. Oh, that is really cool. I actually, now you mention it, I do have some technology in my fantasy, though I don't know if I'd call it sci-fi. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to think of, because in fantasy you always have to think of magic systems, right? But yeah, there's physics and technology systems too that you'd have to do in sci-fi. Oh my gosh, that would be a rabbit hole. That would definitely be a rabbit hole in combining the two. Yeah, one of the big things that I did in my fantasy novel that is now setting me back is I changed the stakes because I realized I didn't have high enough stakes. I had these people being brought to this realm for a reason, and like the thing that they had to do wasn't, I'm being vague because I want people to read my novel when it comes out, but the thing that I wanted them to do, there wasn't high enough stakes for it for people to be like fighting over it and hiding people away and stuff like that. So I have had to work that in by adding a pretty major plot element, and that is why I'm now having to go back in and fix a lot of things, but it'll be better for it in the long run. That is a really good advice though, just by asking that, like that. And that's the thing with beta reading too, right? Like once you get into the beta reader phase, they're going to be asking that stuff. So that's actually one of the things I am most looking forward to. I want people to holes in it and stuff like that, because like that can be scary because it's your writing, right? But you don't want to publish something that has not had holes poked in it and questions asked about it, because then people are going to ask that once it's out in the world, and then it's too late. You'll be sitting there like, oh no. Yeah, the one that I held up is this is my book. It's a YA witch fantasy with a sort of serial killer element to it. Now, what I would say about this book, I put it out in 2020, and yeah, I won't get into this too much. Maybe on the next break, but since I've been talking for a bit, so while I have that, I also have shorter pieces in the Stygian zine. And yeah, so with that one, that was an exercise. I wrote that book in 1 month and then edited it over the next year and then published it. So the whole point of that was to get something published, to finish something and get something published, because I hadn't done that before with a longer piece. So it's not as in-depth as the writing that I'm working on now. It's very much, the audience, I would say, is like age 14 to early 20s, women, that sort of thing. I would say it's very much a teen book, but it's very clean. That was the thing. It's clean. There's a clear sort of magic system. I don't believe there are any plot holes, and I just wanted to put out one solid project. But that being said, for anyone who has read it or is going to read it, it's an enjoyable read. It's not a very lengthy read, but the stuff I have coming out is going to have a lot more detail and a lot more time that I've spent on it. So it's going to be kind of, for anyone who's read A Time When Demons, my next thing that comes out, you're probably going to be going like, oh, that's like, there's a bit more to it. Not to talk it down. I love this book. It's very close to my heart because it's my, my full first publication. Anyhow, with that, I'm going to add our 15-minute timer back to the stage. And also, yeah, you said that you are new to the channel, so thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I always love seeing new faces around here. It's nice because I've been on here now for five-ish years. So yeah, it's nice to see the channel growing and more people showing up. Oh, and thank you, Terry. That's so kind of you. Thank you. It is available on Amazon in ebook form, or you can get a print copy. Yeah, it's true. That's the thing. And when I say clean, I mean a very not straightforward. There's mystery to it, but it's not a super in-depth, tons and tons of character development, tons of detail and stuff like that. It's straightforward. It's well done. Like, it's technically good, that sort of thing. And that's sort of what I wanted to present first, just to put forward a technically good thing. But it is also clean in that way, because, oh my gosh, don't get me started on that. A lot of YA is not YA, and that bothers me. It bothers me a lot. I'm not a spicy writer. Other people can be spicy writers. I have nothing against it. But yeah, what you're saying about how it's in the category and it shouldn't be, that is what bothers me quite a bit. That would be new adult or adult when it's spicy. And that is very much true about not striving for perfection, Terry. Like, that's why I put this out. And I don't want to caveat it too much and look like I'm, shitting on my own writing, because I'm not. But it was very much an exercise in just, let's tear the Band-Aid off and get something out into the world. Okay. Time to write again. I'm going to finish this blog up and hopefully be able to get another one done as well. Alrighty. Hope that we are all ready to go, ready to get some more words in, and I will talk to you in 15 minutes. All right. It's another one down. I almost finished the blog, but I'm stuck on trying to do the right description for a story in Dark Flock. Hey, Sheraton. Good to see you. I feel like even though we just saw each other like a few weeks ago, that it's been a really long time. I think because we both just have so much going on. Terry, yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily an age thing. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on in the world of YA these days. It's a lot. Yeah, thank you so much for joining, Sheraton. I hope that you're doing well. I'm busy but good. I realized that I can't work on my novel today because there's just too much to do, and it's something that I have to like completely put all of my focus on instead of, going back and forth in a sprinting session. It's at that point. So I am writing blogs for Stygian. I did a horror one yesterday, and now I'm working on a dystopian fiction one. Hello, Vladislav. You did miss the beginning, but you are here now, and that is all that counts. All that matters. Now, I had said we were going to do another 15-minute, but I think we're going to jump into the half-hour one because what I was thinking when I said that was that we'd be maybe like 5 minutes off, but we're already past 2:30, and I am aiming to wrap this up around 3, so our next one is going to be the last one. It'll be a half hour. So I would recommend for everyone to grab water, grab a snack, anything that you need, run to the washroom, that sort of thing. Do that quickly before we get into it. Half an hour is not too long, but it's longer than 15 minutes. So exactly. Coffee up, get that refuel, charge up, because this is going to be our last one, which doesn't mean you have to stop writing for the day, but it's the last one I'm going to be running here. I hope that the word counts were good in that last one, that we're ready to head into this half hour. I think that I am. My goal this time is to finish up the dystopian blog and then start another one, maybe finish it, but at least start it. And I think that the next one I do is going to be about publishing. I'm doing a few different categories. So we're doing stuff about horror, dystopian, publishing, in like Canada, Montreal, also the anti-AI topic, and just general writing advice. So there's quite a few categories to choose from, and I have like 100 ideas written down. So no problem with starting on those. Yeah, I'm trying to. I was saying in the last break that I write blogs like mad for my day job. I can write like 10 in a day. And I just haven't been doing that for Stygian. Like on our old site, we didn't even have a blog section, but now we have a blog section, and I'm going to try to build that up and just provide useful things, entertaining things, and also get some SEO built up there because we are trying to take things to the next level this year. That's what we're trying to do. That's the goal. Oh, also, I should announce this before we get into the half hour because I know some people wind up having to leave in the middle of the half hour one. First of all, welcome to anyone who is just joining here. We're doing one more sprint for the day, but it's going to be a long one. So it'll be a half-hour sprint, and that's what will go in when I finish blabbing and giving people a chance to have their water or coffee. So, fun announcement. I haven't made any posts about this yet, but might as well say it here. On the Stygian Society website, we are now offering subscriptions to the Stygian zine. And it's not just that. It's very cool. If you subscribe and you're one of the first 20 people, then you will be locked into that annual price. And this is the digital zine, by the way. I want to do one for the print one, but I haven't sorted that out yet. We need active stock to have that. But for the digital one, so it's $5 per zine. So you pay $10 for a year. There isn't a discount there. However, if you get that, you're going to get all the back issues. So if you go on and subscribe to the digital zine now, you're going to get 3 issues right away, our existing 3 issues. And if you're one of the first 20, you get locked into the price forever. So the goal with having subscriptions is that I want to be able to put out more zines. Right now we do 2 a year. I would love to do, 3, 6, 12, as many as we can, depending on the funds. And since you're helping with that, you'll get locked into that. So if you pay $10 annually and you're locked in, sorry, I'm being repetitive. I just don't want to be too salesy, but it's a great thing. If we go up to putting out like 12 a year, you're still going to only pay $10 a year. So it's really good to be one of the first 20 people. I'm going to link that once this gets started rather than pausing. And I can also grab one of our recent ones for when we come back at the end, and I can show you how it looks, because it's so pretty. And we finally have a new printer that's better, that is not charging insane amounts, which Lulu was doing. If anyone wants to publish with Lulu, I do not recommend them. Just saying. All right, I'm going to get us set up so that we can get into our half hour. If you haven't told me yet what you're working on, or at least your genre, please do. I would love to hear. Okay. Hope we have our coffee, our water, our goals in mind. This is the last one for now. I'm going to drop some links in the comments for anyone before things wrap up, so that you can check out things like the Discord server, because we're going to be sprinting on Friday there, etc., etc. All right. Thank you for joining. If you leave partway through this one, thank you. And I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. And we're going to start our half-hour sprint right now. And I will talk to you all in 30 minutes. Alrighty. I think that was the fastest half-hour sprinting session I've ever experienced. Seriously. Oh boy, how much did everyone get done? I see there's 12 of us in here now, so welcome, and sorry if you're just making it here at the end. That was our final sprint for the afternoon. Yeah, they always go by quite quickly, but I always find that the half-hour ones tend to feel a little closer to a half hour, but that one did not at all. Not at all. How many words are we sitting at for anyone who's counting the words? How many scenes? What sort of benchmarks have we reached today? I finished that dystopian blog and I started one about Montreal bookstores. I'm about halfway through, so I think I'm sitting at like 700-ish words for the day. As I mentioned before the sprint, I did grab some of the Stygian zines just to sort of show what we have before I log out for the day. Congrats. I love these sessions. They're so helpful. I just wanted to show, so this was the first print version of the zine that we were doing. This is issue 1. You can see it's not perfect bound, it's staple bound, so you have that like that split in the middle. Now, these are super nice. I was really, really impressed when I first got them, just because like the quality is great, the like the ink coverage and everything. So they are really nice. But these are the ones we were doing with Lulu, and they overcharge like insane amounts. And not only do they make you overcharge, but they only give the publisher like 40 cents. So you'd be paying like $25 for this plus shipping, and then we would only get 40 cents out of it. It's just not, it's not feasible. It's not appropriate. So finally we found another distributor and printer, and they are great, and they do perfect binding. So it's like, it's nice. It's got that edge, like a proper book. Gorgeous. And we've got it all in, black and white as well as color. So this I was very proud of, my table of contents. So it's so much better and cheaper. So you can actually get print versions of the zine now for $15 each. And I have at least one thing in every zine. So I recommend taking a read, not just for my stuff, but it's a great collection of writers in the zine. It's this project that I just kind of started out of nowhere, and it's turned into one of my favorite little pet projects at Stygian. I love making it so much. And now that we have a proper printer who's not going to charge people insane amounts, people can actually buy it and read it. And yeah, for the digital version, I did drop a link in the chat for anyone who wants to scroll up and check it out. So if you want to get the digital versions, you can subscribe, and you'll get all 3 of our past issues, plus the one coming up in July, and then everything moving forward. That is very cool. I like that a lot. Using journals in storytelling, that's a favorite thing of mine for sure. All the stuff you have told me today, Wrangler, about what you're writing makes me want to read it, because it's very in line with what I like. Print nerd question for layout. Now this is the other great thing. So for anyone who's looking for distribution and printing, I would recommend Blurb. It's blurb.ca. Also, if you're Canadian, it's great. They have their own app, like the way Amazon has for ebooks. They have an app called BookWright, WRIGHT, that you can download when you start working with them, that you can do all of your setup for printing in there. Now I design everything in Canva, which I know, not what one should do. It's not a professional system at all. Like, it's not what you should be using. You should be using like InDesign or something from Adobe. But I'm just comfortable with it. I like how easy it is to move everything around, even if it does take some more time with typesetting, that kind of thing. But yeah, like until I can pay someone to do it the way we should be doing it, that's how I'm doing it. So I design everything on Canva, and then I save it for BookWright. I save each page as a PNG, and then I upload them and work on the layout there. I don't know how it is if you're putting text in like directly to Bookwrite, but it looks pretty good. So yeah, Canva, Bookwrite, whatever the app is called for, oh yeah, Kindle Create, that sort of thing. Ah, that is very cool. Museum exhibitions. I love that. My day job is marketing, but it's for a wide variety of clients and like Olympics, Netflix, real estate people, every range of thing. I love museums. That would be so much fun to work with that. But yeah, Blurb is great and the quality is just gorgeous. Yeah, Sheraton, it I don't know how that flew by so fast. Okay, well, I should wrap this up because we're 15-ish minutes past, and I should do something with my day. It looks pretty nice out. Maybe I'll get outside for a little bit, and I feel pretty accomplished with the blogs. I've got one ready to go for Monday and another one almost ready for next Friday, so that'll be good. Right on track. I hope that this was helpful for everyone else here. Thank you so much for joining, especially if it's your first time. It's always exciting to see new faces. I'm going to be sprinting again here, not next Saturday, but the one after. So this is every 2 weeks, and alternating is on Discord. So this coming Friday, I will be on Discord. Now that's not like in a video format the way this one is. It's just typing. So we're in a little sprint room, and I type and sort of lead the timers and stuff like that. All right. You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And you're welcome. And I'm going to have a new video out this week, too. So Thursday, there's going to be a video. I think it's going to be another one of my traveling ones, but I'm not totally 100% sure yet. All righty. With that, I hope that all of you have a weekend that is just as wonderful as you are. Thank you again. And yeah, see you in the next one.